Thank you very much for sticking with us this Monday morning on Breakfast Central. It is World Press Freedom Day. The theme for this year is information as a public good. Now, it serves as a call to affirm the importance of cherishing information as a public good and exploring what can be done in the production, distribution and reception of the content to strengthen journalism, as it were, and to advance transparency and empowerment while leaving no one behind.
So now the theme is of urgent relevance to all countries across the world as it recognizes the changing communication system that is impacting on our health, on our human rights, democracies, and even sustainable development.
Now, to really underline the importance of information within our online media environment, World Press Freedom Day 2021 will highlight three key topics. One, steps to ensure the economic viability of news media, which is quite important. Number two, mechanisms for ensuring transparency of internal companies. And three, enhanced media and information literacy capacities that enable people to recognize and value, as well as defend and demand journalism as a vital part of information as a public good. Now, let's now bring on our very own Sulaiman Alede this morning on Breakfast, and Dr. Augustine Okoli, a former director of National Orientation Agency, which is the NOA, Enugu State. Gentlemen, welcome to Breakfast Central and good morning to you.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. All right, gentlemen. Now, is there really freedom of press in Africa? Now, let me start with a response from Dr. Augustine.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen on the studio. Happy Press Freedom Day. Your question is straightforward, and my answer is going to be straightforward. In Africa, in Nigeria, hardly can you find a country that allows unfettered, unencumbered press freedom, as it were. This idea of secrecy, Official Secret Act, and the hiding under different cells to try to, cut down on freedom of the press and freedom of individual opinions has actually been the bane of the pressmen, both in the electronic and the print media. Even now, there's a very heavy threat by Nigerian new media, or the one they call the social media. So my answer is that there is no press freedom, not even talking about absolute freedom.
Okay. All right, so Sulaiman, do you share the same sentiments that Dr. Augustine has just put out?
Well, I beg to differ. I beg to disagree. I sincerely, with all honesty, as a practitioner, still think that there is press freedom to a large extent. Sometimes we are swayed by what we see in other parts of the world. In Nigeria specifically, where I am at the moment, I'll say to a large extent, there is press freedom. Time was when you can't actually, because he used the word absolute. So it might not be absolute freedom. And I think anywhere in the world, you don't have what they call absolute freedom. And that is why there's always been the debate between freedom and determinism in philosophy. Okay. So there must be some kind of restraint. So quickly here, time was in Nigeria where you can't say some things. I can possibly actually query the government today. I can be very critical of government policies and even officials, and nothing will happen to me. Time was when that wasn't possible. So to a large extent, we must give it to Nigeria. But the question was too large. When you said in Africa, there are places where definitely you still have such restrictions. But in Nigeria, I think Nigeria is showing the light. What we've seen recently, I'm sure what Dr. Augustine is alluding to, is the kind of rules guiding electronic media. But if you look at it, these are laws and rules guiding the media, especially electronic media. So if the practitioners don't want such and they feel that it is obsolete, then they can also have, in their meetings, see how they can actually put that before the regulatory body and, expunge such. So for that, I think Nigeria is headed somewhere better.
All right, we're talking not just Nigeria, but also African context. Now, this question goes to both of you, gentlemen. What steps needs to be taken to really entrench total press freedom on the African continent? I'll start with you, Dr. Augustine.
Well, first and foremost, I have to disagree with Alede about press freedom here, both from the time of the military regimes and even from 1999 till now. We are enjoying a little bit of freedom, but freedom is a natural thing. Freedom as expressed by Americans, by everybody, by democracy.
Yeah.
Let me answer your question now. In Nigeria, in the world, in Africa, press freedom is something that the people, because we're talking about the fourth estate that represents the people's opinion and expressions, full expression, free speech, and expression of public opinion and personal opinion. So the people have to be mobilized, the people have to be aware, have to be educated to know their rights.
Okay.
And they
All right.
and they have to be actually activated and passed. And you see, the Freedom of Information Act is not fully implemented. There's still some kind of restrictions. So freedom should be freedom. It's not half freedom, not quarter freedom, but full freedom to expression.
All right, so perhaps you can agree with Dr. Augustine this time without begging to disagree, right?
I think they don't give you your freedom, your rights. Freedom is human right.
All right.
Speech. The fella says that you can't dash me my human right. So they don't give you half of it, and they withdraw some. I used to work and speak to government.
Okay,
Sulai, I know Suleiman has one or two things to say about this.
Sulai, so what do we need to do, to really get press freedom entrenched in Africa and indeed in Nigeria? What do we need to do quickly before we let you go?
I think we already have things in place. And when we talk about the Freedom of Information Act, the thing is, have we decided to activate that? Have we accessed that? Many journalists, most of my colleagues don't even go close to that. So if you've ever done that, you'll be amazed that most of these agencies and parastatals in Nigeria will give you the information you do need. While it might not be everything and every time for everybody, but to a large extent, these things work. I'll give you an instance. For instance, in the UK, there are things that you will never hear the press talk about, whether it's about the monarchy. They will not go there. These are about, culture and tradition. So, but in Nigeria, we talk about almost everything and anything to a large extent. We get into the law courts and we report about proceedings. There are places in this world, in Europe and America, where you dare not even get close to the law courts. You can't get access. So sometimes we try to paint Africa as, the bad continent. But in to some extent, we're doing better than Europe and America love the continent or hate the continent in the aspect of press freedom. In the aspect of press freedom, some countries on the continent are doing well. So all we're asking now, if you look at the theme, information for public good, we're talking about fake news. How well can we get information that will be for the utmost good of a people? And now we're talking about the world. And that is why the theme for this year's World Press Freedom Day is very apt. And it's coming at a time whereby a former president of the United States of America almost maligned and untwisted the press into believing that whatever the press was doing was bad news.
Make we not go there.
No, just push our face, go on for now.
But thank you very much, Sulaiman Alede, News Central's very own, yes, and also host of Village Square Africa. You want to catch Sulaiman much later today. I'm sure he has lots to talk about that. And Dr. Augustine Okoli, who joins us on Breakfast Center. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.